two types of dryness when you talk about spiritual dryness. There's a waiting period where God is wanting to speak to you, maybe not yet, and you have to wait on God. You're sitting there and God's not saying a word. You're wondering what's going on. You begin questioning God. You begin questioning your purpose and all these issues that would come up. And in reality, it's nothing to be worried about. God is just saying it's not time. I started off with the waiting period, and unfortunately I ended up in the second part where you cause your own issues and you cause that dryness. So basically my life up until this point has kind of been up and down, in and out of dryness. I started having issues with my calling that God gave me. I went overseas as a missionary, and it got to my head. I caused a wall to be there between me and God. There was nothing that God did to distance himself from me. He stayed there all along, and out of nowhere, I woke up one day and it was shocking. How can a person get so far from God yet claim to be so close to God?
Here I am, down on my knees again, surrendering all, surrendering all, and find me here, Lord, as you draw me near. I'm desperate for you, I'm desperate for you. I surrender.
The ultimate goal in your mind is to get out of that dryness, to get out and get help, to get water, for that fire to burn again in your life. And you will do anything and everything to get out. You won't stop at anything once you realize where you've come. You see, I didn't realize where I was at, and finally I came to a point where I realized how far I've gotten from God, and I was so upset with myself, and I said, you know what? Things need to change. I need to start changing things. And I kind of made a mistake there. You can't change things on your own, and I began to do that.
I surrender. I surrender. I want to know you.
You know, the enemy really knows how to get to you. In my time of dryness, and when I messed up in my own actions, caused me to separate myself from God. He came to me with thoughts of suicide, of harming myself, of feeling worthless, and that my calling was not in fact my calling. I started thinking, man, God gave up on me. God wants nothing to do with me. Does God even want me to be a missionary? Does God even want me serving Him? Does God even want me, period? I absolutely hated my life at this point, and yet I continued to try because I was not satisfied with where I was at. I knew that there was more to what God was wanting to do with my life than just simply for me to mess up and completely sit in agony for the rest of my life. God had another plan, so He brought me out to California, even though I was completely against it. So I get to California, and immediately God begins doing something in my life. And I feel absolutely overwhelmed with His goodness out of nowhere. It was just incredible. Everything changed black to white, flipped upside down. My life was the absolute opposite of what it had been. So something started happening. This weird fire is the only way that I can explain it, started to grow inside of me. I had this incredible passion once again, something that I had lost. I forgot about it. Over the time of just being so overwhelmed and done and burnt out with everything that was going on that I had caused, God, for whatever reason, decided that He wanted to get me out of that. For once in my life, I felt that God was in total control, and I was completely content with that.